So Raven coming out. Kind of cool. We have seen that a little tiny bit recently. Yeah, we just saw that in Code A. We saw one player do this with the quick Raven. I'm trying to remember who, and it's just not popping in my mind at the second. I'm sure I'll remember. Anyways, Stim on the way. It'll be interesting to see what he wants to do with the Raven. Is it just going to be auto turret harassment, or are we going to see him try to hunt down some tumors with that? I always thought that was going to end up being a thing. I really did. Like, you know, with the Hellions that always are kind of dogging around, I thought, well, eventually, I bet you someone's going to just bring a Raven so you're not having to use scans and you can clear a few of the tumors.
Yeah.
But it just hasn't really worked out like that. Like, the Queens are a little bit too good at putting that extra damage on. I think, you know. Oh, he is doing it, though. I mean, I would love for that to become a thing, because then, like, me from 8 years ago is going to be like, yeah, see, I told you.
We've got the 1-1 upgrades coming here from Solar. Maru's continuing to roam here. I like this with the Raven, just cleaning up creep tumors.
Yeah.
And he's basically outpacing Solar's ability to kind of
preempt
this. So this is actually quite a bit. And oh, he's just going to go for it. I guess he sees that there's an opening. It's a good thing he didn't, because there was a trap of lings back there.
A trap of lings.
A trap of lings. It just comes out of me, Artosis.
Ooh, that's good, Tasteless.
Okay, here comes the medevac now. Now, this is not a great spot to drop since drones aren't mining, so he's going to go ahead and move through here. But there's quite a lot to answer this, and he's going to end up losing this medevac. He'll have to drop whatever he can get out. Oh, and meanwhile, this harass is getting picked up. Maru almost faster than our observer here. It's hard to keep up.
I would hope he's faster than the observer. But no, it is hard to track every single thing he's doing here. He actually has his second factory almost halfway done already. He's coming back out on the map. He has that Raven with him as well. A lot of mines coming down. Very cool stuff that we're seeing. Still reacting at those mines. Already starting his 4th CC. Dude, Maru really is just on another level with Terran. It's just beautiful to see. Like, he is so active. Yeah, the auto turret comes down as he plants those mines, clearing out so many creep tumors already.
Yeah, again, the auto turret placement is so good. I'm glad that you're remarking on it, Artosis, because it could be easily, you know, skipped over. But he's doing a really good job, basically making the surface area not desirable to hit in with the lings.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, because StarCraft 2 moves so fast, you have to basically move everything at once very often. And you know, there's moments you can't A-click, especially on an auto turret. That's absolutely not a useful way for a Baneling to connect onto anything. It's something that would just disappear in a short period of time.
Dude,
oh man, that Bane at the bottom, nicely done, connects pretty well.
Yeah, Solar seems to be clearing this okayly, but yeah, I think overall, like, Maru's playing just phenomenally right now. He's keeping huge amounts of pressure on, but Solar does have 4 bases. Going up to Hive as well as that Lurker Den. Has 2-2 on the way. Like, more than halfway done. Damn, like, Solar, I mean, Maru's been putting a lot on Solar, but Solar's not playing half bad here. And he's playing against something that we don't really see, like this kind of more aggressive, many auto turrets, like clearing more creep type of game.
Yeah, and we got to watch this next engagement pretty closely. I think Solar's going to stretch this game out further, but if the next couple of attacks don't go well and a Widow Mine ends up connecting onto any Banes, there could be a chance that Maru would be able to break through this. But as I'm finishing that sentence up, it looks like overall Solar's chased him off his turf.
Yeah, I think that's he's going to have to slow down just for a moment. Well, as I say that, he just comes in on the other side with a very similar looking small group. But yeah, let's see what he can do. He's multitasking on both sides there, getting some mine hits. Yeah, it seems like Solar's holding well enough so far. Versus can change on a dime. It's 2-2 against 1-1, but that +2 attack almost done here for Maru. Viper's already being made. Getting his Hydra upgrades. He does have that Lurker Den. Also getting the Burrow upgrade, which is kind of cool to see.
Nice pickup here. You know, honestly, Solar's basically doing a good job fending off attacks from both sides. He's able to continue to grow and basically stay one step ahead here of Maru. Let's see how this next push goes, though.
Yeah, if Solar bleeds out too much Lingbane, it could become a big, big problem. He is making Hydras now to go with this. Starting to upgrade his Lurkers as well, but we don't see those Lurkers as of yet. So it seems like he wants to hold with Lingbane Hydra and then make the Lurkers a little bit later. But really, like, the story right now is whether or not he can hold this 5th base. Because Maru's on 4. You don't want to be losing this and going down to 4 base as well. That's a very tough situation.
Yeah, there's just enough Banelings with every fight that it looks like Maru can't quite crack through, but again, more and more Widow Mines are coming here. They're burrowing extremely fast now, and some really nice engagement here from Maru. This might be the first fight he wins. He's going to take the hatchery out. He can kill off these other Banes that are morphing right over here, and that's going to be some real value. Now, does Maru continue to push down here, or does he regroup? That sometimes is the hardest question in StarCraft after you kill a base, is do you keep going, or do you pull back and try to regroup and have a stronger push later? Well,
he went for it. It didn't quite work out. We're going to have some parasitic bombs going down on a couple of these injured medevacs, so I really like that move as well. Look at that. Eliminates a couple of them. So now it's 4 base, 4 base. So that was a great kill by Maru, but to be fair, we are now on Lurker Viper, which is the most cost-efficient thing you can do as Zerg.
Yeah.
And so that's like, if you're gonna be on, you know, the same economy as Maru, this is the unit set that you need to be playing with. So I would say that Solar still has a chance. I mean, Maru is looking ridiculously strong and everything, but, you know, with this unit comp, if he plays this correctly, if he does not throw anything away and spreads correctly for his defense, this is doable.
Yeah, you got to be very careful to not just over-engage into Lurkers, but you know, being out of position like this, that's a pretty big punish. You know, the Zerg needed to remake that hatchery as quickly as possible, and Maru has shut it down again. A few more instances like that happening without any big wins here from Solar, and Maru's going to slowly skate ahead like he does in almost every one of his games.
A lot more Lings being produced right now. Solar coming up in that supply. Maru's basically maxed out, adding Ghosts now, getting some Siege Tanks out, getting that plus weapons for Siege Tanks as well. Actually gets a kill onto that hatchery. Boosting by as the Lurkers burrow. Gonna shoot the other hatchery from behind. Damn, man.
He's really everywhere. And now this drop's coming into the main, which is going to make things even more complicated. You know, Maru's doing a great job of basically punishing the fact that Zerg teched into Lurkers, and he knows that, you know, Lurkers can't really be everywhere at once, right? You have to constantly reposition.
Yeah, and I gotta say, one thing I really like that we're seeing from Solar here, and it kind of like plays into his image as a very brainy, smart Zerg.
Yeah.
He's using a lot of parasitic bombs, which is important, right? Like, if you're putting those, like for instance, those drops that were in the main base, he killed the medevacs. Which is, you know, that's the one way to really shut that down and put some damage onto Maru's actual army quality. So, love what I'm seeing there.
Yeah, but we're in Supreme late game, and right now I think Solar's honestly in a better spot. He's certainly banked up more minerals and gas, but the only spot that Terran can realistically take right now, it has creep on it too.
Yeah.
I mean, Solar is basically just has to keep this position and win any fights that come out from the Terran, and he should be in good shape. He could do a little bit better on his creep spread, but other than that, I mean, Solar is really playing one of the better ZVTs we've ever seen.
He is. He really, really is. He's played an awesome, awesome game here, and he's taken a lot of the map control. Maru, he's adding like so many command centers. He's adding a ton of planetaries, continuing to get which upgrades are missing, and you know, a little bit of harassment, a little bit of damage here and there.
Oh my god,
but even something like that, yeah, he saves it, but let's say that he doesn't save it. Let's say that gets killed, but he loses all those units. The hatchery is actually worth a lot less than that many units, right?
Oh,
well, he does end up killing it there. But, you know, a hatchery is worth less money than 3 Marauders at this point in the game. Like,
right,
when you think about it, with the bank that Solar has, he doesn't actually need that base yet.
When you're in the early part of a game, you know, a hatchery or command center is a big deal because there's not that much money to work with. But once you're mining out, you know, the entire map, it's peanuts.
Yeah, eventually you have to think about overall cost efficiency and stuff. I bet you, it feels like it's time for Maru to go into mass nukes from here. Start doing some nuke pushes and stuff.
Seems like it.
Because, yeah, he has to do a lot of stuff here because Solar is not throwing anymore. He made the one attack that looked like it could have been, but he pulled back without losing too much. So Yeah, he's just kind of playing a very smart game here, and his bank is going up and up and up because he's not wasting things. So, yeah, how does Maru actually fight back in this situation? Look at this. Oh my god. He has 17 tanks, 11 ghosts. He has almost no bio. I love it.
Seems like Zerg is going to make a stand here, trying to make sure that there's no way for Maru to expand in this upper left area. Again, there's only one base really that Maru can take and try to mine from. And so at this point in time, with the way the game's gone, Zerg can basically trade unfavorably into this position over and over, and it's probably going to be fine for him.
Dude, this is an amazing unit composition, though, that Maru's making, right? He has almost no Marauders and Marines. Those are not going to be that efficient at this point, right?
Yeah, I love that he's putting the Nidus there basically so a command center can't land.
Yeah.
We've never really seen a Nidus quite used like that. Like, it's not really the goal to have stuff come out from that position. He just wants a building there. Kind of like when, Zerg drops creep under a command center that's going to float somewhere.
And actually, for the Zerg point of view, that's like kind of a tempo-based play, right?
Yeah.
Because if Solar can trade at if he can trade even at a slight deficit here, but keep Maru off of that base for long enough, he'll win.
Yeah.
So I think it's a very intelligent move that he's doing there as well. I'm actually just completely, I already knew these two players were amazing, but this is just such a great game. This is a fantastic game. And the fact that Maru is going for a composition that looks like this, where it's there's so much efficiency here. The fact that it's tanks and ghosts for the most part, and he's just utilizing EMP on the Vipers. He's using a ton of snipes. He's pushing slowly but surely. And, just letting things like Planetary Siege Tank grind through.
Yeah. Where's the ghost? Oh, I see it now. Okay. Couldn't find it for a second.
You're not allied with Maru, man.
So he's got this base up. Now, Zerg still has enough of the map. By the way, take a look at this. Inside the planetary, the sensor field down there at the bottom right, there's a hatchery coming.
Oh,
he's expanding
the rich gas, yeah.
He's expanding within vision, basically, on the mini-map of the Terran. Kind of an awkward angle to come in here. Whenever you have, especially in StarCraft 2, units start to hug the corner, you need to move directly through the middle of areas. You don't want to right-click somewhere where everybody's getting, you get congestion with the army movement around turns. That is especially bad against a Terran that has siege tanks.
Yeah. No, totally. And the composition that Maru has made, you can't really attack him with a Lurker-based army at all, because all of his units are basically good against this now. If you're running up your Lurkers, they're taking 1,000,000 shots to kill one tank.
Right.
So we see that he's actually switching over now into Broodlord Infestor for the most part. But Maru is already on top of that. He's starting to add some Thors in as well. And don't forget, he already has been making Vikings. He has a lot of Ghosts. So, well, I don't think it's a bad idea to go Broodlord Infestor. I can't think of anything better to do against Maru's strategy here, against his unit composition. But it's Maru, I think, can still play against this as well.
What a first game this is, man.
Yeah.
We're gonna be here for at least a half hour in this game.
Oh, yes, easily. I think today is quite likely to be very long.
I think so.
SOS is preferring some Supreme late games as well if he starts playing Solar. He is really into Tempest Carrier type play. So Broodlord Infestor, we have some Vipers, we have some Lurkers. Ooh, nice EMPs coming out.
Yeah, not bad at all. The Broodlords are going to come down here and just start to hammer at all these units on the low ground. There's enough shots coming out that these Banelings can't quite connect. And basically, Maru can keep nuking this area. The Zerg, unless the Zerg just doesn't notice this nuke, should be able to run away. So that's what he's going to do. He's just going to pull out of this area. Looks like a lot of these Infestors are going to be hit.
Yeah, dude. That's some very hurt Infestors. Kills one as well. And don't forget, Terran basically in this matchup will never spend all of their gas. So you can, in my opinion, you can think of nukes as just 100 minerals.
Yeah.
So if you're killing, what's the math on it? If you kill one Infestor with a nuke, it is way more than paid for itself.
Right. So, I mean, Maru is slowly fighting back. I guess this base down there in the bottom he could take, but I feel like Zerg can easily, with the fact that the minerals are pointed towards Zerg, I feel like there's just so many ways to punish that.
Well, yeah, it's like the low mineral rich geyser bases are so weird to take on this map.
Yeah,
like,
for the Terran too.
Yeah, for anyone to mine from those, it's like, oh, they're in such a weird spot. Like, you have to really control that part of the map to be able to mine from there. So those are probably like, it's very reasonable that we could see this game in a situation where those are everything that's left and no one can mine from them, you know?
Right. So, I mean, Zerg just kind of waltzes in and retakes the bases that Terran wipes out. Again, it's 8K in minerals here, 3K in gas. I can't imagine how many larvae are actually waiting to just be turned into something here. Nuke's coming over here.
This is such a funny game, right? Like, look at these weird armies that we have. I guess the Zerg army isn't that weird. We've seen armies that look like that a lot of times. But the Terran army's kind of a funny numbers. He's got like 3 Marauders. He's got 2 mines. He's got 5 medevacs to go with those 8 ghosts. He's almost got a medevac per ghost here. 9 Vikings, 5 Liberators. I gotta tell you, he's missing a single Raven. 1 Raven would be good.
1 Raven would complete that. That'd be the cherry on the cupcake. So Terran finally comes into this area. Now, I don't know if Zerg is going to try to pounce on that or what.
Yeah. And look, I mean, even though Solar got some of that, don't forget we still have the 2 rich geyser bases that can be mined from. They've been almost 0 mining has occurred there so far.
Right. Okay, he's going to come through here. Beautifully done.
Yeah, the Blinding Cloud's doing fantastic on top of those Thors, pushing them back.
Wow. Terran just getting all chewed up over here. The Corruptor's now hitting those Liberators.
Oh, he actually does not have any detection there. So the Infestors just like burrow moved under all those Liberators before they were actually all dead as well.
Kind of an insane game, and Terran wounded is having to flee from this situation here, and there's going to be an opening for the Zerg to then come in here and sweep up this base that is in the northwestern part of this map.
Yeah, this is looking like a Solar victory, man.
Yeah,
there's like no bank left for Maru. He is going to lose bases and everything. Still Solar maxed out with a gigantic bank of 8K, 3K.
So that's going to be it for that base, and I think that's probably it for Maru's opportunities. You know, he's had to go back into his coffers and use up his savings.
Yeah. Even running out of gas at this point.
Yeah, see 25 gas, that's kind of the big indicator. Like, you can't just make a tank now or anything else. You know what I mean? Like, well, there's a point where you have so much, you just make whatever you can think of. But that was the moment where Zerg basically won that fight, has continued to dominate economically, and I think we're going to, when we eventually do go into Game 2, which should be in a minute or 2 here, we're going to need to see Maru play, I think, a little bit better in the mid-game.
Huh.
You know, basically, Maru was
you think he was like overextending or something?
Yeah, and I think what happened was Solar basically pushed Maru back on both fronts, then expanded on both fronts, and then Maru really wasn't pushed anymore. Zerg basically had map dominance.
Maru went into an extremely defensive unit comp, which in turn did force the Broodlord Infestor tech switch because the Lurkers weren't going to do anything from there, right?
Right.
So that's a hard line to tread. I wonder how Maru's going to try to fix that. Actually, I think I have a good idea. I think that Solar should go pool first in the next game. I think Maru can look at this and be like, oh, I don't want to be put in this position again.
Yeah.
And Maru busts out his good old proxy 2 racks.
Yeah. I think that he's going to play a very different game. I think you're probably right about that prediction. So Terran's still trying to get anything done here. We have long-distance mining happening with these SCVs.
Yeah, Solar here still with a 6K bank. Wait, I'm confused. He was making a lair. Does he just want more health for sucking out energy or something? Must be, right?
I think so. So Terran's still getting a little bit here. Again, the dilemma, though, is you can't get gas. I mean, until he starts to mine from that. But, I mean, you know, without gas,
Yeah,
you really can only make Marines and Hellions, which are not going to be very handy. Another big engagement coming in here, and so many Banes rolling in.
Oh my god, yeah, the Bane's going to get in on top of just about everything. The Thors are doing some serious work, but it's not going to be enough. Everything looks like it's going to get cleaned up at this point. Yeah, look at this, the Knurls coming out as well. And
GG.